How's it going, everyone? Coax and Campsels here, about to hit my first Japanese summit. Thought I'd be able to drive up to the top, but that is not so, but that is a-okay by me. So right here on the other side of this observation tower, we're getting a little bit washed out because that's to the east and the sun's coming up. It is 7 in the morning. Right on the other side of that observation tower is JA6-ON004 Mount, I'm going to butcher this, Mount Yaedake. Not a secret on the channel, no good activation spot is a good activation spot without a nearby bathroom. Strolled over here, about a 45-minute drive to get here from the hotel, and check this guy out. The camera isn't doing it justice, but that is probably about the size of my palm and then some. Blocking here in the entrance of the bathroom, and I'll tell you what, I am not really afraid of bugs, but I'll just pee my pants. Here we go. Didn't make it very far past the bathroom there when I saw another one of these spider things. Like, look at the size of these guys. Holy cow. Guys, like, look at the size of this thing. That is, the body of that thing is probably the size of the tip of my thumb. Yikes. I don't know what these spiders are, and I'm like zooming in on this thing. It's probably, I don't know, 6 feet from me. Massive, like body the size of my thumb. It's eating this giant bug. But not only is it huge, they're everywhere. There's another one right there. And then if I turn around to the other side of the trail, there's another one right here. There we go. Look at the size. I've used my hand to get the camera to focus on it. That thing is probably 3 inches long. And if it stretched out its legs 7-8 inches across, like, look at that thing. And there's like little baby bugs crawling all over it. Needless to say, oh, there's another one right there. Needless to say, I am not trying to touch these boys. The yellow bodies, they are giant. I am just here to make contacts. Getting a little bit closer to this observatory, there's a little path where the trail gets pretty narrow, and after seeing 100 giant spiders on the walk up here, I'm a little concerned I'm not going to make it. But here we are getting towards the top. That's what I say, Mount Yaedake. Over here is Motuba, the city of Motuba, and that island that we're seeing off in the distance is Iijima. See a big boat going through there. So I have never been somewhere where I have seen as many massive spiders as I have seen today on this very brief walk up this hill. Now we're turning and we're starting to point back towards the city of Nago, which you'll see here in a second. I can't turn too much further because the sun's going to wash it out, but we're going to have the city of Nago down here, and then off in the distance you might be able to see all these big buildings. That's my hotel over there. So linear distance, I'm probably about 6 miles from the hotel. It took about 45 minutes to drive most of the way here. The expressway on this island, the speed limit is 80 kilometers an hour, which is about 50 miles an hour. And I'm telling you what, if I was going 50 on I-95, if there wasn't traffic, I would be getting blown past like I wasn't even moving. Well, wasn't expecting it, but up at the top is actually a really nice, flat, grassy area. So we just got to the other side of this observatory, and I've played a lot of Fallout. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, you know. This to me looks like somewhere that I would need to go into for like a quest or something. Like there's some mastermind or cult in there that is, I don't know, has something that I need to do. But back to the original pointing. So there's Iijima over there, the city of Motuba, and I'll try to type these up, you know, drop them in there as like text things, you know what I'm saying, or know what I'm mispronouncing. Ooh, way down there. I think that way down there is the city of Naha and all the other, you know, cities down there in the southern part of the island. So I flew into there. Those spiders, it was like tripwires coming up here where they would have like one leg of their giant scary web. You know, one anchor was crossing the path, and I would run through it and think that there was a spider on me. So I would minorly freak out. So I'm going to walk over here. I tried to find what city that is off in the distance. I don't even know if you can see it with how bright this sun is. Couldn't find it in anything that was written in letters that I could read. So I don't know what that is, but I am pointed east from Mount Yaedake. You're welcome to search for it and drop it in the comments. But look at this view. Just finished setting up, so we got city of Motuba already. Little Dude 6 strapped to the pole just like I did on my POTA short. This spider wasn't there when I started, so you can kind of see how big these things are. That's like your conventional chain link fence, and this thing is spanning a couple squares. So if it moves here onto my husky strap, I'm probably just gonna leave it. So we are leaning the pole like last time to get away from this metal fence and the spiders. There were a couple places that I wanted to set up, but there were spiders. S-beaner here on my strain relief on this loop, here into a BN-seated mana plug adapter, some spare wire that I made a ground plane, 15 feet of RG316. Going over to my IC-705, hooked up my key. I don't know if you can see this. You hear it rattling? This arm there is just flopping. So that is no bueno, but thanks to N6ARA, I had a spare key in my backpack there. So I am now single threaded to this key. I'm gonna have to pull the hardware off this guy and rebuild it or remake it. So yeah, always have a spare key. Gonna start on 15 meters because according to the muff map, that is probably gonna work pretty well today. All right, let's get to it.
I didn't adjust this key properly, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle today. He sounds good. 5'7". Wow, that's a strong guy. 5'8" down. 10 watts. Vertical. JH1 MXV. Two. Hopefully that one guy leaves me alone. JR. JA9MJR. Alright, let's get this loud guy now. RZG, JJ1, JJ1, RZG. That guy's loud and wide. 5'6". He must have a beam pointed on me or something. JA1VRY. Five, 5'9". It was a JS1 IFK. So that was 6 contacts in probably like 6 minutes. Very quick. JV1 AWE. I messed this up when I was in Colorado too. Waka, my buddy Waka. Forrest was just up in mainland. We didn't get to cross paths. We thought we were going to, or at least hope we were going to. Certainly on the airwaves. It ended up not happening. But he was just visiting Waka there, so Waka and Forrest got to go do some mainland photos. There's now two spiders. There's now two spiders by my pole over there. The spiders here are wild. Alright, I think that might be all that's going to happen. That was about 10 minutes. 10 minutes for 7 Qs. I was getting heard pretty well in mainland, but that's it. Well, we got our first SOTA. This isn't a POTA summit, or this isn't a POTA entity, so I have no investment in getting more contacts. So I think I'm just going to call it right there. 7 QSOs, all in the mainland of Japan there. Yeah, good activation.
Did my activation on that side of the fence and then saw this little path that went to the top of this little, I don't know, hill next to the top of this mountain. So I guess this is the actual top and I was, you know, a few feet below. But I wanted to do a quick rotation. If you see something popping in the top of the camera, that is the brim of my hat, trying to block the sun so you all can experience this. Look at how beautiful this island is, Okinawa. A little bit north of Nago, the city of Nago. Look how far you can see, just beautiful ocean everywhere, little islands on the, you know, off this big island, which I guess in the grand scheme of things isn't very big, it's still a little island, but absolutely beautiful. Iijima Motubo over there. Iijima is the island. Very beautiful. Thanks for watching, everybody.